Greetings from the Gods of Semen channel. I'm Laerte, and I spent years learning and practicing to fully appreciate the profound advantages of seminal retention. As someone who has had similar struggles, I understand what it's like to lose desire, energy, and even purpose. I discovered that maintaining my life force allowed me to grow spiritually, mentally, and physically in ways I never would have thought possible. I'm here to share with you all that I've discovered along the way. Many men experience fatigue, annoyance, and a sense of being stuck in routines that sap their energy. They may find the transformative road they seek in the seminal retention practice. Before we begin, a crucial disclaimer. I will only respond to comments from people who submit a thanks message with more than $5, giving priority to the largest donations. Therefore, by supporting our efforts, you also assist YouTube in reaching more individuals who require our message. Stay tuned until the very end of the film, as I will share important details and compelling perspectives on how crucial retention can increase your accomplishments and give your life new purpose. Prepare yourself because, working together, we shall develop into a more complete, powerful, and aware version of ourselves. I, Laerte, frequently recall the several occasions when I felt like I was giving it my all, whether in social situations or at the gym, but I never saw any tangible effects. Everything I so much desired seemed to be kept at an unreachable distance by an unseen barrier. I attempted to embrace the possibility that I would not be able to go above this level for a while, but something within of me resisted taking this idea as gospel. In the midst of so many inquiries, I became interested in a technique that initially sounded odd to me: seminal retention. Something in the descriptions and testimonies of people who practiced sparked a glimmer of optimism, which inspired me to take the first step toward an inner metamorphosis. I questioned if this would not just be one of those meaningless promises that constantly surface in advertisements strewn across the internet. I won't deny that first, it seemed to contradict all I had learned to confront the idea of not wasting that crucial energy. We frequently hear as children that these actions are just normal aspects of men's daily lives. However, when I delved further, I realized there was more depth than I had ever thought. Retention is more than just not ejaculating. It's about holding on to a piece of myself that has always been neglected without my realizing how much it may contribute to my life. I eventually came to understand that this choice affected not just my physical health, but also my mental and emotional well-being. Everywhere I went, I began to feel more awake, more productive, and different. The most odd thing is that people saw a change in me even though I hadn't told them I had altered any of my routines. Some even claimed that I was safer and more self-assured. I found it fascinating. Without exaggeration, I felt as though I was radiating a sort of magnetism, and that I radiated an energy that had never been known to me before. Something that was particularly easy for women to express. I've always heard that they had a strong sense of intuition, and at this point, I was certain that it was true. As I continued to develop this technique, I became aware of the daily shifts in my mood and the ability to tackle chores that I had previously put off or avoided. I recall a day when, despite being worn out from all of my responsibilities, I had more energy than ever to study, organize new projects, and even do more strenuous training. I believe that my dedication to retention was strengthened with every small triumph. Before then, he didn't understand why he wasn't consistently seeing benefits from his intense gym training. The mirror did not reflect my determination, even though I appeared to fight as much as everyone else there. I felt as though I was finally holding a key that unlocked the doors of a force that had previously remained dormant when I incorporated retention into my everyday life. My posture improved, and I began to build muscle and expand in previously undeveloped regions. I was also taken aback by the mental clarity with which training, nutrition, and rest methods were planned, in addition to the physical aspect. I'm frequently asked if there is a deeper backdrop, or if this is just an illusion. I frequently mention that, aside from first-hand accounts, there are old customs that discuss this life force, this creative energy that, when sustained, changes us from the inside out. I had a new perspective on the world, particularly after realizing how retention changed how I interacted with other people. Conversations suddenly got more engaging. I felt more comfortable voicing my opinions, and I had the odd but welcome impression that things were beginning to change. He observed that female attention became more noticeable at certain periods. As I walked in, I noticed people making subtle eye contact and smiling at the corner of their mouths, and I couldn't help but notice that something had changed. If I used to feel nearly invisible, now I would simply exude a new presence, something that is more than just a mood or appearance. It's a vibration that got stronger every day. I gained a fresh perspective on the law of attraction as a result of this adventure. I always thought it was a very nebulous theory, but I realized that when our inner energy is in harmony and constructive, our thoughts are also focused on the bigger picture. We start telling ourselves that we desire possibilities, that things can work out, and that everything seems to be working in our favor. I say that because it's exactly what happened to me. I was invited to projects I never would have thought of. I met people who greatly influenced my path, and I ultimately recognized that none of this was just luck. I, who had previously been dubious of these more spiritual methods, confirmed the findings. Yes, there was a faith component, but I also realized that retention made me focus my energy on tangible tasks, keep discipline, and persevere through the initial signals of difficulty. Focus and energy combined to create a progress spiral that grew with every new accomplishment. I discovered that women pick up on a lot more than just words and gestures. They can discern the strength we convey in our eyes and voice and quietly grasp our character. Any lingering feelings of insecurity tend to fade when retention is practiced, since we are nourishing our own vitality and, in a sense, awakening to our true selves. Unaware of the reason, the locals exhibit a heightened level of interest and sincere desire in learning about the changes. As I considered the causes of all of this, I came to the conclusion that a shift that permeates all aspects of my life is at work, not just the sexual component. That old feeling of despondency that caused me to question myself started to fade. I had the guts to make plans, break bad habits, and even resume researching issues that I had put off because I didn't think I had the time or maturity to do so. Sometimes, even when I was exhausted, I would rather analyze something crucial to my development with my remaining energy than spend it on instantaneous diversions. Every little step I took in that direction strengthened my conviction that I was headed in the correct way. Therefore, if I was previously controlled by thoughts like, "Nothing works out to me," or "I'm not able to achieve what I wish," this type of inner voice gradually stopped speaking. I swapped out my doubts for statements that motivated me. I began to visualize my goals in order to project a more elevated mental image of myself into my environment. My everyday life became more productive because of a posture adjustment rather than a miracle pass. This, in turn, led to increased self-confidence, creating a positive feedback loop between action and energy. All of this may appear over the top to someone who have never seen the skin. So did I. However, after seeing how things were developing, I could only draw the conclusion that this course is accurate. Even when I encountered criticism, jokes, or skepticism from individuals who did not comprehend or thought the concept of retention was odd, I was able to handle these challenges more easily. It's as though my center of gravity shifted inside, making it impossible for other people's opinions to unsettle me. Understanding how all of this led to a sharper awareness of the world around me was one of the most fascinating aspects of this journey. I started to pick up on body language cues that had previously utterly eluded me, such as tiny indications of laughter, interest, or discomfort. There were times when I could tell what kind of energy was circulating between the others and myself just by looking at them. I felt less exposed and was better able to comprehend what was going on around me because of this rose veil, which demonstrated how rich and multi-layered everything was. Simultaneously, this personal magnetism's growth was revealing opportunities I was unaware of. Are you prepared to live a fuller life and elevate your conscience? Discover the hidden secrets of Kundalini, crystalline oil, and spiritual emancipation in my new book, Alchemy of the Gods. Imagine waking up to a transforming force that releases your full potential, enlarges your mind, and fortifies your spirit. This book contains lessons that can alter your perspective on the world and yourself. Regardless of your routine, you can immerse yourself in the information of Alchemy of the Gods because it is available in physical, digital, and audiobook formats. Do you want to turn pages, listen on the go, or read on your preferred device? Select the
format that best suits your lifestyle, and begin your journey to a higher state of awareness. To guarantee your copy, click the link in the description or the corrected comment right now. Don't put off changing your life and realizing the full potential of your inner strength any longer. First of all, though, I have something new that you might not have anticipated. With almost 2 hours of in-depth content covering the 6 main foundational retention concepts, I present to you the audiobook Semen Retention Success Path. This information is the key to success if you want to regain your focus, achieve long-lasting personal progress, and unlock tremendous vital energy. Additionally, you receive a 30% discount on the ebook, The Art of Semen Retention for Men, when you buy the audiobook. 20 pages of cutting-edge methods for emotional equilibrium, spiritual development, and discovering one's actual life purpose are included. Do you want to advance in your quest for self-development? Join my channel to take advantage of YouTube's special features, which include priority answers, early access to material, and many more benefits tailored for individuals who want to go above and beyond. Additionally, your involvement is essential to maintaining the channel's activity and providing you with an increasing amount of news. Don't pass up this chance to invest in yourself and live a life filled with inner power, abundance, and purpose. Start the biggest change of your life right now by clicking the link in the description or the fixed remark. I occasionally got communications from people who wanted to invite me to partnerships, projects, or collaborations. At other times, I was no longer actively seeking employment chances. Instead, they came to me through nominations. I credit all of this to the discipline of conserving my energy and the mental concentration on clearly defined objectives. When we cease spreading our life energy, it seems to me that it turns into a beacon that draws favorable situations and drives away anything that does not resonate with our new vibration. It is undeniable that the compound interest effect is ideal in this situation. Change is subtle at first, hardly noticeable. However, after a few weeks, we found ourselves reflecting on the past and recognizing the significant contrasts in our actions, choices, and even responses to setbacks. 30 days later, things became clearer. As I approached 60, I sensed a big shift. My self-esteem was at an all-time high when I reached the 100-day mark. My everyday life became considerably lighter and more productive as a result of this exponential effect, where each tiny triumph built up to the next one. Simultaneously, I discovered that I was becoming so sensitive that I could detect minute shifts in the conduct of friends, relatives, and even co-workers. In turn, they saw a different gleam in me, but they were unable to pinpoint the exact cause. I like hearing remarks like, "You have a good energy today," or "It seems something in you has changed." These affirmations strengthened my resolve since they showed me that something was, in fact, taking place. I also became very aware of how my eye contact and body language affected how people responded to me throughout this time. My posture stayed more straight. My voice grew firmer, and I felt more alive throughout the conversations, as though my mind was there, in the moment, and not straying into fears or daydreams. All of this has undoubtedly opened up a lot of chances for me, both personally and professionally. Simultaneously, this new reality caused me to consider what makes people attractive. I realized that self-confidence is a real expression of people who are in harmony with their own energy, not merely an abstract idea. I used to be able to seem a little needy or insecure to get someone's attention, but now I realize that I was content with myself and that this attraction came naturally. Women are definitely affected by this, since they are able to convey not just the words, but also the vibration we have released. It's interesting to note that this attraction does not always need us to behave haughtily or coldly. It's about not having to beg for anything because we are so secure in our identity. And as we become aware of the influence we can have on other people's lives, this internal transformation not only makes interactions easier, but also makes us feel more accountable for our views. I realized that I could use this inner force either constructively or superficially when I absorbed it. I obviously picked this energy in order to develop, improve myself, and encourage others to reach their full potential. I vividly recall a period of time when I was preoccupied with other people's opinions and allowed criticism to divert my attention. I built an internal barrier when I adopted retention, which made it possible for me to observe the true scope of these outside voices. I began to separate what was beneficial to me from what wasn't, which allowed me to move freely and without as much fear. This belief that we were headed in the right path was reinforced by every accomplishment, no matter how minor. I was happy to see that this entire process was not just about gaining advantages in the realm of relationships or the monetary world. I saw a notable improvement in both my emotional equilibrium and spiritual life. I was able to handle my emotions without becoming overwhelmed by harmful impulses or uncontrollable moments because I was more conscious of them. Previously, I would have reacted with annoyance or fury, but now I felt more composed to handle whatever was going on. It's incredible how a choice that initially appears to be limited to a single area of a man's life can actually work as a trigger that affects every part of life. Some people are even shocked when I tell them that a truly personal revolution begins with seminal retention. However, they are intrigued and receptive to learning more about this universe after they consider my arguments and see the changes they bring about. I observed that I took decisions in the workplace with greater bravery and tenacity. I felt as though I had more mental clarity to distinguish between things that were worthwhile and those that were only distractions, since I was not squandering my primordial energy. I even felt more inclined to take measured chances and start tasks on which I had previously been hesitant. I had changed my relationship with the concept of perseverance and overcoming, so my fear of failing was no longer so crippling. It's also important, in my opinion, to mention how my empathy for those around me progressively grew. Maybe as a result of my increased awareness of my own motives and energies, I've learned to recognize other people's suffering and goals without exerting any effort. Often, just a glance or a vague remark already told me how I could be of assistance, or at the very least provide encouragement. One of the wonderful things about taking good care of our energy, in my opinion, is that we have so much to offer and shouldn't keep anything for ourselves. Regarding my workout regimen, I can say that retention has emerged as a crucial element in consolidating the outcomes I've consistently pursued but never fully attained. Strength and resistance increased noticeably, and my general mood improved as well. I had never had such a strong sensation of vigor, waking up in a positive frame of mind and desiring to defeat myself in training. I had the impression that by keeping this energy within me, I was feeding each cell in my body with a force that would otherwise escape without even carrying out its basic purpose. Almost as magically, the social obstacles that had before been impenetrable vanished.